Okay, so we're moving on to three-dimensional shapes next. And the first type we're going to talk about is prisms. So prisms, this is an example of what a prism looks like. It's a 3D shape. So I'm noticing some of the sides of this prism are rectangles, and like this side facing us on the bottom and on the side over there. And then some of the sides are triangles, okay? I'm noticing that the triangle sides are parallel to each other, which means they're not tilted towards each other. So those triangle sides are actually called bases. They're the sides of the prism that are parallel to each other. They are the sides that are not rectangles. So as soon as I see that this side is a triangle, I know that that has to be the base, okay? The bases can be rectangles, but if any of the sides of this prism are not rectangles, then that is automatically the base, okay? So we're going to shade in the bases. So these triangles, those are the bases, both of those triangles. There's two of them, okay? There's always just two bases. The other sides, the non-bases, are called faces, and they are always rectangles. So we're just going to outline our faces. So that's going to be on this side facing us, on the bottom, I know it's kind of ugly, and on the side over there, okay? Those are all our faces. You need to know the difference between a base and a face in order to find the volume and surface area of this prism. So let's look at our formula. So they always give us a formula. You do not need to memorize it. So for surface area, there's two types of surface area. There's lateral surface area and total surface area. Lateral surface area just means this is the area of faces, not bases, okay? So those sides we talked about, it would be the blue faces. That's what you're finding the area of, okay? So they give us a formula for that. Capital P, we know that stands for the perimeter of the base. Okay, so the perimeter, you would figure out which side is the base, you would add those sides together. H is going to be the height of the prism. So the height of the prism actually connects the two bases together. So we're going to type that down in a color. Connects the two bases. Okay, great. So all you got to do is plug those numbers in, and you would get the lateral surface area. For total surface area, obviously that's going to be the area of the faces and the bases together. So let's write that down. Area of faces and bases. Great. Okay, so this formula still has S, stands for surface area, equals pH, which we just saw up there. So it takes your faces. So again, P is perimeter of the base, H is still the height of the prism, plus 2 times capital B. Well, what does capital B stand for? That is the area of the base. So in order to find an area, we have to use a formula to figure it out. Anything that is a capital letter is not just one of the numbers in the picture. That means we have to figure something out in order to get that number, okay? So how do I know what formula to use? Well, we just did a whole unit on finding area, so you have to use one of these formulas to figure out the area and put the number there. So that's for total surface area. For volume, it's right here, V equals big B times H. Big B is still the area of the base, so we're still using a formula to figure that out. And H is still the height of the prism. So here we go. We actually need to see some examples of how do I use this. So number 1 says, what is the lateral surface area of the prism? And they give me the prism over here. Yay me. So as soon as I see lateral surface area, what? Lateral surface area, that means I need to pick one of these formulas up here. So lateral surface area means, oh, pick lateral surface area. So I'm going to write that down. S equals PH. So P means I need to know the perimeter of the base. So let's look at this shape. I need to figure out what's the base. So I'm going to shade in my base. I'm looking and I see, oh, one of the sides is a triangle. That means automatically that is the base. So I need to do the perimeter of this base. Okay, well, what are the sides of the base? We know to do perimeter, you just add the sides together. So we're doing this side plus this side plus this side. So we gotta do 11.2 plus 11.2 plus 10. And we would type that in Desmos. 11.2 plus 11.2 plus 10 is 32.4. So that means P is 32.4. Okay, great. The H, the height of the prism. We're not talking about the height of this triangle. I'm talking about the height of the prism. Connects the two bases. So if this is one of the bases, that means the other base would be back here. Which side connects those two bases? That's going to be 13 in this example. So we need to plug this in. So I'm doing S equals, my perimeter was 32.4 times the height of the prism was 13. We're going to type that into Desmos. 32.4 times 13. And we get 421.2. 421.2. And that's my answer. Okay? You have to figure out which side is the base in order for you to do these things. Okay. Next question, what is the total surface area of the prism? Okay, so I'm going to pick a formula. What formula am I going to pick? Well, this says total surface area. So I'm going to pick the formula, total surface area. I'm going to write it down. PH plus 2B. Okay, I need to pick which side of this prism is the base. Now, in this prism, I'm seeing all the sides of this prism are rectangles. So how am I supposed to know which side is the base if they're all rectangles? Usually we know, oh, whichever one's not the rectangle is the base. So if all of them are rectangles, then you can pick any side to be your base. So we're going to shade it in. So I'm picking any side. It does not matter because they're all rectangles. So I'm going to pick the front side. Sure, why not? It does not matter. This is my base. Great. So I need to do capital P is the perimeter of that base. So we need to add all the sides together. Now I know 10 and 4, but I need to know this side and this side. Well, I know this side is 10 and this side on top is 4. So we got to do 10 plus 4 plus 10 plus 4. Okay, we would type that in Desmos. If you do not know, you would type it in, you would get 28. Great. The height of the prism, H, connects my two bases. Well, if this is the base that I chose, my other base would be back here. So connecting these two bases is this number right here, 12. So it's going to be 12. Okay, big B. This is where it gets tricky. Big B is the area of the base. Okay, now my base is right here. So what shape is my base? It's a rectangle. So let's look up the formula for area of a rectangle. I put it on this page. So area formula for a rectangle. Square, rectangle, parallelogram, boom. A equals BH. So when it says A equals BH, those B and H, this is the base of the rectangle and the height of the rectangle. So my base and height of the rectangle are 10 and 4. So I'm doing 10 times 4. If you do not know, 10 times 4 is 40. Okay, let's plug in all our numbers. So I have, here we go. S equals, perimeter was 28, times the height of the prism is 12, plus 2. The 2 is always there because there's two bases. So 2 times the area of the base is 40. I gotta type all of this in Desmos at once. Let's see what we get. Can I remember all these numbers? Here we go. So 28 times 12 plus 2 times 40. and I got 416. So my total surface area is 416. Okay. All right, last one. Volume. What is the volume of this prism? Okay, so first step, I gotta pick which formula should I be using. Lateral, total, or volume. And this question, it said volume. So I'm picking the volume formula over here. V equals big B times H. Okay, well, what's big B? We know that's the area of the base. Okay, well, where is my base? Are there any sides that are not a rectangle? Well, in this one, yes, this side up here, this is not a rectangle, so that's got to be my base. Okay, so what kind of shape is that? Well, that's a polygon. Specifically, it's a pentagon, but okay. So I need to pick the formula for area of a pentagon. So I'm going to go back to my formula chart. I'm going to look for polygon, regular polygon right here. A equals 1/2 AP. Okay, so I'm going to write that down. I got to do 1/2 AP. Now we remember A is the apothem, so that's the line in the middle. So 1/2 times 8.26 times P is the perimeter of this shape. We find the, all the sides are 12. 12, 12, 12, 12. So to find the perimeter, we're doing 12 times how many sides? Oh, there was 5 sides. 12 times 5 is 60. That's my perimeter. And that's gonna give me something. I gotta type that in. I don't know what that is. 1/2 8.26 times 60, 247.8. So that is the area. Oh crap, I just forgot. Here we go. 247.8. 247.8. Okay, so this is the area of my base. This is big B. So I still haven't found the volume yet. Now I just gotta plug it in. So here we go. New color. So my big B, we just got was 247. So I'm gonna put 247.8 times the height of the prism that connects our two bases. So my base is up here and it would be down at the bottom. So the side that connects these two is this number right there, is 24. So I'm gonna put that in parentheses. That's a V. Stop pushing the button. Here we go. So I gotta type that in the calculator. So 247.8 times, what was it, 24 times 24, 5947.2. So that is my volume. I already forgot, 5947. 5947.2. Okay. If you need to go back, you need to, the big idea is you need to be able to pick out which side is the base, because that tells you how you do pretty much everything else. Making sure if it's in the formula, if something is a capital letter, it's not just a number from the picture. You have to figure that number out before you plug something in. And if it's big B, the area of the base, you need to pick a formula to use for that. Okay? So you're going to go ahead and start on the formative.